Thanks to those joining me live, to those who will be joining me on archive. DStyleBoxing. If you're watching archive, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and thumbs up the video, and hit that notification button. That way you're notified every time DStyleBoxing comes on live. Check it out. I'm watching the fight live right now. 30 seconds to go. Garcia has Easter against the ropes, battering him against the ropes. 23 seconds to go here. Jab by Garcia. Easter misses jab. Garcia misses a hook. Garcia pressuring, boom, right through the guard, gets him. Easy round to score. I got Garcia winning this round. Garcia's pressuring. Easter comes in with a right hand, but it's too late. Easy round to score. To me, this is an easy fight to score, to be honest with you. But it was exciting, okay? This is what boxing is all about. These two dudes are warriors, all right? This is what boxing is all about, man. This was a great fight. I enjoyed this fight, all right? Really, really good fight, all right? Both corners paying respect to each other like they should. Unbelievable fight. Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this fight. We're close to announce the winner. To me, look, man, I think it was a pretty easy fight to score, in my opinion. I had Garcia winning the fight. Could give Easter some rounds. A lot of rounds were competitive, but overall, I felt Garcia won the fight. But let's see how the judges scored here. Early on, I did feel like Garcia was gonna knock out Easter. I did feel like that was gonna happen, but we'll see here, man. Let's see what the results are. Showing some slow motion highlights there. Boom. Garcia, man, that left hand, that left hook especially, the jab, the right hand, the 1-2s, and then right there he actually landed in that knockdown sequence. It was a 1-2, then a hook, right? And he actually blocked the hook from Easter with his glove as well in the process. Just showing highlights of Mikey Garcia right now, but he landed some hooks to the body. Easter was on the ropes a little too much for my liking. I think he was on the ropes a little too much. We'll see how the judge scored here. You never know with boxing, so. Here we go.
Action, the judges are in agreement.
Great action.
We have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge ringside, Edward Hernandez Sr. scores about 116 to 111. Larry Hazard Jr. sees it at 117 to 110. And Steve Weisfeld scores about 118 to 109. All three in favor of the winner by unanimous decision.
A little wide, but.
He is now the undefeated and the unified WBC and IBF lightweight champion of the world, Mikey Garcia.
The ref lifted the arm of Mikey Garcia before they actually set the name, and Easter was already clapping. Okay, but I don't think the ref should be doing that. This is boxing. You never know. Okay. But that aside, the 118 probably a little wide for my liking, but the right guy won. Okay, I think the first judge had it pretty on spot, like 116. So it sounds about what I scored it, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Not really looking at the punch stats myself that much. Not basing it off of that at all. Okay, but. Showtime's putting it on the screen. And look, Easter's jab, I think, won him a couple rounds here. But overall, just looking at the totality of the fight, it's But let's see what Mikey says here.
To be the unified 135-pound lightweight champion.
Well, it's a great accomplishment. Feel great being here in LA. All my fans that came out to support, I want to thank everyone.
All right, so unified. Hey, man, this is a big win for Mikey Garcia. And I think Mikey Garcia shut up a lot of critics today. All right? I think he shut up a lot of dudes.
Did you ever feel at any point that you were in peril in this fight?
You know, I knew he was a tough opponent, a tough champion. He's a true warrior. I prepared for the best. Robert Easter, he came in, gave a great fight. I was a better fighter. I was in control most of the night, and I did what I had to do to win.
He came out early and threw a lot more punches. Were you just biding your time, trying to figure out what to do?
Yeah, I like to stay patient early on.
I think he's just started a little too strong in this fight. I think his game plan would be a little different if they fought again.
Timing and finding that range that suited me best. Once I started getting that rhythm, started getting to work.
And then you found that timing here in the third round as we take a look at it with that big right hand followed by the left.
Yeah, well,
I like it when it comes to boxing, man. You gotta love when they talk about timing. And I found my timing. This was my game plan. This is what I love, man. Okay. I know a lot of people just like guys who close their eyes and just exchange all night, but boxing's should be more skillful than that. All right.
So I don't want to risk either. He has some good hand speed. So I had to just be careful.
5-0 since you had the layoff. How different of a fighter are you?
I just more experience. I'm a hungry fighter. I'm better than ever. I'm in my prime.
All right, so now you're a 4-division champion. You're a unified champion now. What's next? Is Errol Spence, as a lot of people have said, he's here this evening. Is that what you'd like to do? Go up 12 pounds and fight at 147?
I'm here for the biggest challenges. I don't know if there's anybody else with a bigger challenge than Errol Spence. I would fight at welterweight. I want to challenge myself to the fullest. I know he's up for any fighter. He's up to fight anybody. So that's what I want.
Do you think that can be made, and do you think that, in fact, that will happen?
I think there's a very high chance that it can be made. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think that's the next big fight coming up.
Mikey, you go up 12 pounds if you fight Errol Spence, and I know you're just coming off this right now, but do you think you have the power and the ability to face that much of a bigger man?
I feel I have the power and I have the skill set to compete at any division up into welterweight. He's the toughest guy at welterweight, the most feared man, so I want to challenge myself against him.
What does Django think?
Django, think it's it. Number one.
He's on board. All right. Mikey, congratulations.
Mikey Garcia wants Errol Spence at a welterweight. Okay.
Muchas gracias por el apoyo. Also, big shout out.
Let's just give Spanish shout outs. Look, that's a big jump, but I gotta say this, okay? Am I against it? No. That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do, right? First of all, I like when he was like, I got the power and the skill to compete in any division up to welterweight. Yeah, these little dudes got to watch out what they say sometimes. But anyway, so he wants to go up to welterweight. He's calling out Errol Spence. This is what you call yes. This is how you say yes, I want to fight, by the way. Okay? This is what Easter says first.
Whenever we step in the ring, we both put our lives on the line. And tonight, Mikey was victorious.
Robert, you were throwing a lot more punches in the early going, yet your corner, your father and Kevin were imploring you to throw the right hand. Was there a problem with your right hand?
No, I just couldn't find the timing. I just couldn't find the timing. And like I said, I couldn't let it go.
What happened in the third round when you went down? He caught you with the good right, and then the left is only the second time that you've been down.
His feet crosses. He caught me with a clean shot, and I went down. But I got.
What do you mean? What happened? Like Jim Gray, I swear to God. Okay, what happened when he knocked you down? Like he got caught and he got knocked down. Right?
We lose or draw. We go back to the drawing board. We work hard.
How did you feel when they knocked you down? God damn. That's that. I can't show more of the. I can't play any more of the Showtime broadcast, guys. Okay. Good win. for Danny Garcia. I'm sorry, not Danny. Mikey Garcia. All right. I don't look. If he wants to do it, I'm not going to stop him. I'm not against it. Okay. He's challenging Errol Spence to fight at welterweight in Errol Spence's division, like the way, right, fighters should challenge champions from other divisions. Okay. So this is a fresh, a breath of fresh air, right? In an era where guys call out dudes from higher divisions and they want to bring them down to catch weight, right? To quote unquote make things fair. But in all reality, they're weight training, okay? They're more heavy opponent, okay? Or the opponent on the higher division. That's in reality what they're doing. So if he wants to do it, that's fine. Now, first of all, like I was saying, okay, just wanted to play the Robert Easter thing, and shout out to him. The dude's a warrior. I want to see more of him. Okay, I think it's sometimes in boxing, it's about a game plan. You come in with a game plan, things don't go your way. You go back to the drawing board. You improve yourself as a fighter. This is not the last time we've heard of Robert Easter here. Okay, so well, that's it. All right. Well, that's it. Back to Danny Garcia here. All right. I feel like although I appreciate the guts and I'm not against the fight, because look, at the end of the day, if he loses, he can always go down a weight. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Or stay at welterweight and just keep campaigning there. You know, Robert Easter lost today, right? He can go back to the drawing board. Mikey could do the same thing. I think it's a tall task. I really do. I think that's a big task right there. You're jumping 2 weight classes, and you know you're going to face somebody who is, you know, used to that division. But we'll see. All right, we'll see if it even happens. I would rather him go to 140, campaign there, than go to 147. But hey, I can't stop a guy from doing what he wants to do. All right. A big win, though. I think Mikey Garcia has shut up a lot of critics today. And if he didn't shut them up, they have to find other things to say, right? Because before this fight, right, there was, you know, I'm not even going to say it was a majority of people, because it wasn't, okay? But there was a vocal, you know, small percentage of people that were saying that Mikey ain't shit and he's not proven this, that, and the third. When Robert Easter gets a hold of him, it's going to be a wrap, right? You know what I mean? He's going to get exposed. Well, something was exposed, but it was a good thing, right? He exposed some pretty good boxing skill here. Very effective pressure, you know. I think he cut off the ring pretty good. Had Robert Easter against the ropes several times. And I'm not an advocate for look at their faces, but you know, you can look at that. But at the end of the day, I think Mikey Garcia won the fight. I think he pretty clearly won the fight. It was competitive, I'll say that. And it was a great fight. I enjoyed the fight. This is why I love boxing. But that's that. I don't think there's nothing more to say other than bring up the chat here. Let me bring up the chat. All right. Who knows what's going on? I have no idea what's going on in social media. I have no idea what's going on in my chat. I have no idea what's going on in other YouTube channels. Okay. Like it's there could be a whole YouTube frenzy right now. Like, Easter got robbed. Like, you never know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on. My chat right now could be like, what fight did you see? You know, I don't know. But let's see here. I don't know. I haven't checked anybody else. Right? AJ10's a solid fight. AJ10 says Mikey, the last 4 rounds. Yeah, I think Mikey closed it out. You know what I mean? Any chance of Easter winning was wiped out right there. Man, Mikey beat that man's ass. LOL, says my stroke vision. I don't know if he beat his ass would be the right way to put it. You know what I mean? I don't think that's what he did. You know, like I like to reserve beat his ass for like when somebody beats somebody's ass. You know what I mean? I think this was a competitive fight that Mikey Garcia clearly won. I think that would be a better way to put it. But everybody puts it their own way. You know what I mean? 8-10. I had Mikey winning 9 rounds. All right. My stroke division, I agree with the wide score. Easter didn't do shit but jab. Man got dominated. I'd give Easter 3 rounds at best. All right. So if you give him 3 rounds, you would score better than 118, right? But anyway. Okay, 8-10. Mike Garcia should stay and dominate at 135. 8-10 saw it the same way. All right, 8-10. I like Mikey, but he is not beating Spence. It's a tall task, I'll say that. McStroke Vision says Mikey got some balls. I respect it. Novel says great win. I don't know why he wants to fight Arrow. Yeah, it's a very random fight. You know what I mean? Like it's a very random fight. But I'll tell you what. There's dudes in Arrow's own division that won't fight Arrow. You know what I mean? So it's. And a point I forgot to make, I was going to make this point, and I went to Robert Easter. So now that I remember, that's how you say, yes, I want to fight. You know, when somebody says to a fighter, do you want to fight so-and-so next? If the answer isn't yes, I want to fight them next. I want to do it as soon as possible. If it's not that, if it's, I'll fight anybody. Whoever's available. I'm going to talk to my promoter. I'll fight whoever they put in front of me. Now, that's not answering the question. Okay? It kind of, makes it seem like you're answering the question. Like, well, everybody, then I guess we got to include the person that we're specifically saying in there, right? But no. That's how you say, yes, I want to fight. But it is random, though. The Mikey Garcia Errol Spence thing is extremely random. I will say that. Okay, it's one dude's at 135, the other's at 147. I just find it very random. But they want to fight, so what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's something I don't know about it. It just seems random to me. The fight will be big in Texas. Strokovich, Spence is too big. He should be fighting Crawford now. Well, that's the fight I would like to see, yes. RS Hideo says, what did you see when you got knocked down? Right? You know what I mean? Like, it's a stupid question. Tim Gray asked these rhetorical questions. Shadio says, Mikey is a new breed, my friends. Navos, definitely, mad respect. Easter will be better fighter and man than Broner. All right, MotoGP says he should look and take a strap at Walter, but EJ, dang. Okay, and more from our Shadio. Mikey has some of the best timing in boxing today. He has really good timing. Got to give it to him. Wasn't Easter a 10-1 underdog in this fight? I don't know. I actually don't know that. All right. I wouldn't be shocked if he was an underdog. 10-1 is kind of surprising, to be honest with you. Okay, that's very surprising. But what I will say is, like I said, I was very clear, not directed at you, but there was a very vocal percentage of people, not a majority, not but a very vocal small percentage of individuals on YouTube that were saying Mikey was going to get exposed in this fight. That's what they were saying. So that's when I'm saying he shut up quite a few people. It's those specific individuals. By the way, where's Low Place at? Anybody knows where he's at? Now I don't know what Low Place said about this fight, but Low Place is one of those guys that said Mikey ain't shit. Mikey hasn't proven anything, right? So Easter also used his height finally. He did use it at times, yes. Like in the 7th round, I saw him using the 7th round. I think he was a little negative. I don't think he did enough. I think the idea of what he was doing was right, but he looked like a poor man's version of a prime Erislan de Lara there. Okay. Physically, I think 147 is pushing it for Mikey. Yeah, man, I don't think he should be fighting 147. I think Mikey Garcia is making the same mistake that Cal Brook made when he moved up to fight Gennady Golovkin. I think he's making the same mistake here, but he wants to do it. What are you going to do? Good body work by Mikey as usual. This is what always sets him apart. He doesn't just headhunt. I agree. Jamie Chavez, props to Easter for finally at least trying to use his physical advantages. More from our Shadio. The corner should have stopped the fight for Easter. You think they should have stopped it? I mean, that's your opinion. I'll respect it. I don't agree with that, but Garcia versus Porter feels like let down when they can't even speak Spence's name. Yeah, the wrong Garcia is calling out Spence here. You know what I think happened? Knowing the boxing media today, this is my theory, and I'm going to stick with it, okay? We have Danny Garcia at 147. I think this some new boxing reporter that started watching boxing a couple years ago, all right, a couple months ago, got some credentials and he heard that there was Mikey Garcia somewhere, and he started asking about Errol Spence, thinking that was the Garcia from welterweight. And then Mikey said, "Sure, why not?" And then it escalated from there. Right? I wouldn't be shocked if somehow some boxing reporter got the Garcias mixed up, and that's how this random talk of this Garcia at 135 fighting Spence at 147 started up. I think somebody confused the Garcias. Mikey didn't know he was getting confused, and he just said, yeah, I'll fight him. All right, I think that's what happened. You guys tell me what you think about my theory. Yeah, he sure looked real tired towards the end for sure. It takes a lot of energy out of you to be on the back foot moving around. It takes a lot of energy from you. H. Harbor, the whole Errol thing seems like they still gunning for Heyman fighters. Yeah. Jim Chavez, it is in-house for Al Heyman, right? So is Al Heyman with Errol Spence? I think he is, but Heyman probably profiting a lot. Yeah. Mikey versus Loma is not going to happen, so there's really no other interesting fight for Mikey at 135, which is a shame because let me tell you guys right now, Mikey Garcia would have beat that ass, right? Mikey Garcia would have beaten Lomachenko, right? 8 Harbor with Heyman probably profiting Spence harder than Mike. What is Spence's height, by the way? Easter was a tall dude for that weight class, man. I'll tell you that. Novels down 3. If Mikey is serious, then you have to respect it. He's trying to do something almost impossible. Yeah, you got to respect. I wouldn't say impossible. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, really? He's going to get destroyed." We'll see. You know what I mean? Like, I think my first initial thought is, well, maybe Spence wins that fight. But there's a lot of flaws in Errol Spence. Like, he will have a tough time with for as long as it lasts. He'll have a tough time with Garcia. You know what I mean? And I don't know how long Garcia could do it, but it's not going to be an easy task. You know what I mean? For Spence. Yes, Mike is about 5'7". Spence is a little over 5'9". All right, there you go. Spence is 5'9". Mikey's 5'6", 7, something like that. All right, so 2-inch difference. All right, Bruce, Easter fans were talking a lot of trash. Yeah, I mean, yeah, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with trash talk. Nothing. As long as you give respect in the end, there's nothing wrong with trash talk. All right. This was a good fight from both fighters tonight, fellas. It was. Yeah, the height and weight is a bit much. Might be a Spence versus Brook all over again. Could be. Something like that, yeah. Robert Harris, round 9, was epic. Good round. Chavez, Mikey said he wanted the Spence fight after watching him fight Peterson. Okay. Maybe my Maybe my theory was wrong then. All right. Age of 10, I can see Mikey hanging on 5-6 rounds. Then we will see the size difference take over. Yeah, that's kind of how I see it. But again, you never know, right? Ari Shadio, yeah, Brooke was kicking Spence's ass for the first few rounds. Let's not forget. Yeah, I mean, he was outboxing Spence. Again, I don't know if look, me personally, I reserve kicking somebody's ass. Like I reserve that for when somebody's getting an ass beat. You know what I mean? Like it's. I think outboxing him is a better term, but that's me. How did the fight end? Garcia wins by wide decision on all three scorecards. James Chavez, the difference was from Brooke. Cal Brooke, as Mikey has 2 fights at 140. Brooke didn't have any at 154. Yeah, well, I guess that's one difference, but I mean, it ain't much in my opinion. Harper, did you guys see Broner looking salty in the audience? Now, you know what? Did I miss Broner? I don't remember seeing Broner. If it was between rounds, it's probably when I went to get like a Gatorade or something. Garcia needs to just do a pay-per-view with Lomo. Forget Spence. He doesn't want to forget Spence. Dude wants to challenge himself, man. And look, if he goes to 147 and fights Spence and he wins, that would be tremendous. Okay. If he doesn't win but puts up a great fight, you could always go to 140. You know what I mean? So there'll be options there for him. So it's not the end of the world. I know we're getting past this. We're in an era where everybody's worried about somebody losing. And that's a whole nother video in itself. But it's okay if guys lose. It's okay if somebody doesn't have that O anymore. It's if somebody moves up, like this is why fighters don't want to move up and challenge themselves anymore. While it is random, it's not something never seen before in boxing, right? Smaller fighters have been moving up, in many cases, multiple weight classes or many pounds, to challenge themselves against a champion in a higher weight class because they feel like they could beat them and they want to take that challenge on, right? And maybe sometimes us as boxing fans, we look at that and we can say, why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. Is he crazy? Well, because they want to prove, like the way you think about that, they want to prove you wrong. They want to challenge themselves. It's a warrior spirit that many fighters used to have that. That's why in boxing history, it's filled with middleweights, right? That moved up to fight, heavyweights. It's filled with history like that. And more often than not, they didn't succeed, but they wanted to challenge themselves, right? It's just the way it is. Boxers used to move up in weight classes until they hit a roadblock, right? Until they hit like a weight class that they could no longer conquer, then they stopped. Because they wanted to go as high as possible. Like, it's the way it is. Now things have changed. It's a different time. It's a different era, right? But lightweights have moved up. Look, man. If you're a lightweight champion of the world and you're watching a welterweight, it's only natural. You're not that far apart. Like it's a possible matchup. These matchups have happened before. And you got to put yourself in their shoes, right? Like if you're the lightweight champion of the world or one of the titleists, and you're watching a welterweight fight, it's only natural to watch that fight and say, I think I could beat that guy. Like they think about these things. Fighters think about these things. When they watch fighters not that far apart from their weight classes, they think about these things, right? But very few are actually willing to say, I want to take this challenge on. You know what I mean? So this is catching a lot of people off guard, in a sense. But I mean, what are you going to do? Okay. What are you going to do? Let's see here. Well, Manny was the smallest, and he came up. Somebody says Broner flipped off the outlet bands, booing him. The greatest boxers in history have losses. While Manny was the smallest, somebody brought up Manny, but Angel Fleet. It really depends if he gets damaged by Spence. You see what happened to Brook when he moved back down from the GGG fight after he fought Spence. Yeah, but Brook, I mean, he had a sensitive face. I mean, what can I tell you? You know what I mean? We can't. I mean, I get what you're saying, but this is boxing, man. Like it's. I can't, sit here and be like, oh, you can't take this fight because it might damage you for good. Like it's any fight could damage you. You know what I mean? It's about where punch lands, what bone it affects. You know what I mean? And if you think telling Mikey Garcia, hey man, this is real dangerous here. This guy could destroy your career. Okay, you saw what happened to Cal Brook when he moved up and he fought GGG. It's going to destroy your career. Okay, he doesn't care. You know what I mean? He is aware. Like Mikey Garcia is aware of the risk. We don't have to tell him that. He wants to take that risk. You know what I mean? It's what he wants to do. Now I will say this though, and I want to go on a record now and say this. I want to go on record right now. On this channel, I've been against catchweights since I've started YouTube in 2007. Right? I wasn't always on this channel. I've lost other channels, but you know what I mean. If I hear that there's a catchweight proposal of any sort, I'm not going to support that. If you want to move up to welterweight to fight Errol Spence, then you're going to move up to welterweight and fight Errol Spence, just like any other welterweight would. If you don't really want to do that, then don't fight him then. I don't want to hear like, oh, no, the Garcia camp wants to do it at 145, 144. I don't want to hear any of that. So I'm just going on record and I'm saying that now. I'm not saying that's going to happen. There's nothing that's showed me that that's what's going to happen. I just want to go on record and say that. Okay. David Chavez asked me how I scored the fight. I didn't sit down and score it round by round. I'm going to be honest with you. I like to enjoy the boxing, you know what I mean? But I kind of just kept tallying in my head. Like I got Garcia winning this round. I got Easter winning that round. So I don't have a number or anything, but it's by the end of round 10, I just knew Garcia won. You know what I mean? Like I gave Easter maybe 4 rounds in the fight. At most. That's at most. You know what I mean? So if somebody really wants to stretch it, you could probably give them 5, but that's really stretching it for me. All right. I'll watch it again and score it, but Arcadio, what scares me with Spence is his body work. All right. 8-10. I think Mikey sees technical flaws in Spence he can exploit. That jump to 147 will be a different animal. I mean, so Mikey, like, you don't want to take a fight at 147 first? Like, this is what, like, I'm just saying, like, you don't even want to just fight, like, fight a top 15 guy. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to fight one of the top guys, but you don't want to just fight somebody at 147 first, Get a feel of that division first. I don't know, it's me, but all right. Angel Fleet says, LOL, true. Arcadio, Mikey always takes that first round off. Anybody notice that Spence will wake his ass right up in the first round? James Chavez, hopefully, he feels his opponent out, yeah. James Chavez, hopefully Robert Garcia doesn't let Mikey take a brutal ass whooping like he did with Margarito versus Pacquiao. Robert Garcia will never throw in the towel, man. But what are you gonna do? I gave you 3-4 rounds tops. Jim Chavez, do you mind rehydration clauses? I don't like rehydration clauses now. That's me. But if you can have rehydration clauses, just have same day weigh-ins then. You know, like if you're gonna do this the weigh-in before, either you do it the day before or you don't. You know what I mean? That's just me. Low Play says that Mikey's pretty basic. Jimmy Chavez, he should fight Jeff Horn first. Mikey Garcia versus Jeff Horn. That's interesting. Our Shadio, Mikey is not basic. His timing is sharp and almost sharp as Hopkins. Jimmy Chavez, Mikey is very textbook. Low Plays, Robert is one of the least cerebral fighters of our time. I lost to understand of what he was doing repeatedly. He was in there with a superior fighter that you are underrating, Low Plays. Okay. And apparently you can't understand how he was getting out-timed and beat to the punch continuously by somebody who just had a better game plan that night. That's what happened. But maybe you don't rate Easter that high. I don't know. I don't know where you stand with that. But with that said, don't really have anything else to add, to be honest with you. And I really want to listen to other YouTubers on here, get their thoughts on that. All right. It looks like the chat is in agreement with me. I've been looking over social media. They're agreeing with me. I just want to know what other people are saying because I'm just curious. Okay. If you're watching now, make sure you thumbs up the video, by the way. Apologize for talking low. Don't want to wake people up in the house. So. Mikey had very little success until Easter walked himself into the ropes. Very confusing. I think Mikey was having a lot of success, actually. He knocked him down. He was beating him to the punch. He was landing 1-2s. He was landing hooks. And Easter tried to change the game plan, tried to go on his back foot. And Mikey was cutting off the ropes. And then, you know, he was hitting him while he was on the ropes. Mikey did that. So, you know, that's just what I'm saying. Lomachenko won't just sit on the ropes or being horrible ring general. We're not going to get Lomachenko versus Mikey Garcia. We're not going to get it. It ain't going to happen. Robert fought tall that threw Mike off at first, but timing of Mike cut that height down. I agree. The timing was everything. Mike is a better technical fighter. He definitely had the best game plan that night. You know what I mean? I think with a better game plan, Robert Easter could have probably made it a better fight. But I think 9 out of 10 times, I think Garcia wins. So if the odds were 1-10, they were probably correct, right? Anyway, guys, that's all I got. I got to roll, right? Peace out.